yes, the fish are hungry. Hello everyone. So I ain't done a live stream for a while. I thought I'd do one. I don't know if anyone's noticed, even though it's 18 degrees, that bloody water getting in there is freezing. So I thought I'd do a new live stream. I've had a few things going off at the moment, but I wanted to show you guys what I've been up to regarding the pond. A lot of people are doing their pond projects, I've noticed, and I hope you're doing well with those. So what have I been doing, you might be asking? Well, I've sorted out all the pipework, I've sorted out the electrics, the pond liner I put in, loosely put, but not put in completely properly. It's a pain in the backside. I tell you something, the one job I hate doing is putting a pond liner in. When you've got to deal with creases, folds, my advice to anyone that's putting a liner is put some water in and get the center of it with no creases, work your way out to the edges, and then when you get to the corners, if you're doing a sleeper pond or some other type of square pond, there's two philosophies regarding pond liners. One is to put all the loose liner into the corners, which I'm not a fan of, or try and fold it strategically in the corners and then put a few folds in some parts of the center of the pond if you can get away with it. Now obviously a lot of people go for these box liners. Box liners are all well and dandy, but they have to fit precisely, they are expensive, and it's always possible that the corners could fail anyway. So without further ado, I'll show you what I've been doing with my pond, and you'll see what I've done. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt putting a pond liner in, but let me show you. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the pond liner. As you can see, it's putting. As you can see, it's been tucked with those felt nails in place, won't move, and essentially I finished. Now there is some water already in the pond there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to guess how much literage this pond will hold, I will do a competition and the winner will receive a prize. Now what prize should we do? What I might do is put a selection of items I've got left over, and then the winner can choose which one they want. Simple as that. So what have I been doing apart from the liner, you might be asking? Well, there you go, the skimmer. So let's have a look at the skimmer. Don't worry guys, I've done a video on this and I will upload it at some point. But here is the skimmer, Yorkshire Koi skimmer, redone. Now a lot of people criticise me because I just basically, while dumped a ton of silicone and just put the gasket on top of the liner and then sandwiched it. In this one I've done it differently. I've done it how you're supposed to do it. So basically you get the gasket, which basically sandwiches in between the liner like so. So if I get a piece of liner, let me get a piece of liner. So you got, imagine this liner is the gasket for the skimmer. So basically the gasket is like that. So the idea is that the gasket goes over the top of the liner like that, and then you screw into it and it holds it like so. However, the gaskets are not the best rubber that I've seen, and they can fail. In fact, they're not completely flat either. So you just do what you can really. So basically I cut the liner like so, all the way around and up. You could potentially leave a bit at the top if you wanted to, but it's more hassle than it's worth. And I've put a ton of MS300 silicone. Here it is, MS300 silicone. Now, if you've have seen my other videos, you'll know that I used HA6 marine silicone. Now, it's designed for marine and sea vessels and that sort of thing, but it's not very good in terms of its durability on pond liner. It comes away. So basically I've done a bit of research, and this is probably the best stuff I could find. My Pond MS300 black silicone, and I used that on the skimmer. So that's a new Yorkshire Koi skimmer, fitted in. Obviously we've got the pipe work there. Just thought I'd quickly show you the pipe work. So we've got two outlets into the pond, two returns, and then I've got that special superfish pump, low wattage, connected via boots, rubber boots. And there was an adapter you can buy for this that Japanese water gardens supplied, which basically screws into the bottom. And essentially that's the skimmer setup. Low wattage though. At 2000 litres per hour I will get 8 watts out of that, and if I ramp it all the way up to 5000 litres per hour, I think it's about 22 watts low wattage. I wanted the low wattage pump because that's not my main pump. The main pump obviously is the Evolution Aqua pump that I've got over here. Let me show you that if you've not already seen my videos, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the Aqua Evolution pump setup. Basically this is the pipe work setup that we've got. So it's pressure pipe that is on a bend into a T that goes into the surge filter, comes out the top, and it's a clear pipe. You may not have seen this before. Clear pipe will allow me to see the water, how clean it is, and the clarity. So it'd be interesting to see that working. And then here, where the ball valve is, where the T is, I can obviously keep that shut off, but we've got another rubber boot on there where we can attach another filter. So I just wanted to show you the little setup that we've got regarding this pump, Evolution Aqua 10,000 litre per hour pump, connected with unions. These are heavy duty unions that you can put on there and there instead of the crappy plastic ones that come with it. And then we've got the Evolution Aqua control box there. So I thought I'd just show you the pond really. I think we're pretty much there. I'll just show you this. This is the other filter that we're going to be using, utilising that clear pipe. So as you can see over there, ladies and gentlemen, see the clear pipe has a coupler there, and the coupler will fit on this clear piece of pipe here. Clear piece of pipe with an elbow on. So the elbow basically is like that, and it pushes water through the filter, various sponges and gravel and plants and what have you, and there's a spillway. But that's something that probably will take me a few minutes to do the setup, but the hardest job has been done. So here is the liner job. Corners don't look too bad, and then when we got water in, it'll push that back, so won't be so bad. So there you go. I'll just go back to the skimmer where I've used the MS300 siliconed it in. Just got to wait 24 hours for that to go off, and then the next job will be putting the 4 tank connectors in. So I've got 1, 2 to put there for the returns, 1 there where the pump outlet is, and 1 there for the overflow. Now sometimes when you buy a liner, the liner has seams in it. It can be a bit annoying if you have a seam right in the place where you need to put a connection. Seams, although you can potentially put tank connectors over seams, like we've got one there, it's not ideal because the liner is a bit thicker and you have to put quite a bit more silicone on. So I'd rather not have a seam running through the middle of a tank connector. So as you can see, I had to adjust the liner a little bit. So it just misses that one there. There's one just below it there, just misses that one. One over there where I had to do a little bit of a fold where the seam is there. Just one over there, and then one there as well. So that's essentially the liner done. I would say the pond is pretty much finished in terms of its structure of the liner. We've got the capping wood to put on. Obviously, to be honest, that's a 2-minute job because I'll just use the existing capping wood for that piece and the existing capping piece for that. And I've got 2 new pieces of wood, one for here and one for here. This is actually quite interesting, the pond size though. I actually managed to get it to be completely square, so it is quite a unique project because obviously we've got that shelf there. If anyone is concerned about herons, I've seen a lot of videos on herons, and obviously some of you may have seen my heron attack video as well. I highly recommend, if you've got a shelf that's probably about 2 foot deep, put something over it like a net. So that's what I'll be doing. So yeah, so the next job is I'm going to put the capping wood on and then I'll put a triangle piece of wood across there so I can fit my round bowl filter, which I'll show you over here. This is the bowl. It's doing quite well. Put the plants in. They were sort of dying off, but now they've come back, so that's great. What I actually did is I put some plant feed pellets in there just to keep the plants alive, keep it going, because obviously we've got no fish waste to feed the plants. We've got some water lilies here which are not doing too good. I really need to get them in water as soon as possible, but I don't want to do anything yet until I've got the tank connectors in. But you know, that's the update really. Let me know what you think. It's coming along, I think. Incidentally, I think we're doing all right with this little project. So that's the update. Just wanted to do a quick update on a live stream. I will do a video of everything I've done so you can get to see everything. Obviously that's the retro bottom drain. Some people have commented that they use the low profile thing themselves, or you could make it yourself out of 1.5-inch pipe. The thing is, someone did comment on this and says I could make it for £10, and you know, a similar thing that I think it's Eco Filtration, that's it, that supply this for £20. And someone on one of my comments said he can build that for £10. Now I looked into the cost of pure koi parts, pipe attachments and bends, elbows, 90-degree, 45-degree pieces of pipe, obviously hose tails. you couldn't make that for 10 quid. I'm sorry, but you couldn't. Um, when I sort of worked out the costs of what it would cost you for the various attachments, you'd have to buy a piece of pipe. You'd have to buy, obviously, a 90-degree elbow, two 45s, one horsetail. If you go to any sort of koi supplier, you're probably talking about £30 for those pieces to create that. And obviously, Eco Filtration offer a 2-inch version instead of a 1.5-inch for about £19. So it's a no-brainer, really. So whoever said you could do it for £10, well, it depends on the parts you're using. Could you go to a plumbing supplier and get those floor plast stuff? You could, but I'll be honest with you, those floor blast attachments and bends and elbows and 45s are not very good quality. They're actually quite poor quality. So yeah, I would highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, um, get quality PVC parts, not what they call ABS plastics. And I want to address this because I left a comment on a few people's channels when they started talking about pipes, and I want to talk about this in more detail. So let me just sit down and talk to you about it. Hey mate, you okay? Darren Webber. No way, mate. It costs a lot more to make one with all the bit going to it. I agree with everything you're saying, mate. Thanks a lot, Darren. Yeah, I just can't see it costing £10. If you go to eBay and you list the products that's in that package, right? Now they're 1.5-inch. That piece there is 2-inch. It's bigger, so it's higher quality. Darren Webber says, "Yeah, I'm good, mate, and that's okay, mate. Agree with what you're saying, mate. Thanks a lot, Darren. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because a lot of people have been talking about pipes as well, like the differences between PVC pipe, ABS pipe, and the floor plast pipes that you can buy. And someone was trying to say ABS pipe is the same as, well, basically it's waste pipe, and it's the same as PVC pipe. It's not. And they seem to think, oh well, it comes in black. Well, the majority of it comes in white, actually. You know the pipe that you get for your sink from B&Q or a local hardware store. It's white and it's ABS pipe, and that's what's used in your kitchens, for your washing machines, for the pipe work, for your sinks, and that's white, and it's ABS pipe. It's lower grade quality pipe than what you get in terms of PVC black pipe for ponds, typically called waste pipe. The waste pipe is higher grade than ABS pipe. So there was a few YouTubers saying you don't need pressure pipe because it's a bit of an overkill for your pond, and I agree with that sentiment. And waste pipe is more than sufficient, but don't get confused between waste pipe that's PVC and ABS pipe. Now you can get ABS pipe in black, but it's so much, to be honest with you, crapper. It's not as high grade quality. If you go on eBay and you look at koi suppliers, they're supplying waste pipe that's PVC based. Now apparently ABS pipe is slightly better in lower temperatures than PVC pipe is, by maybe 10 degrees, something like that. Um, Darren Webber says, how's things been, mate? Not too good, mate. I've got a family member who's had a brain tumour removed, and he's not well, and he's pretty much refusing to go to hospital, and he's been sick a lot, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to get him to go to hospital, because you can't force someone to go to hospital, but they're concerned that they'll never come out of hospital. So if anyone's had a similar scenario or situation, let me know how you would deal with it, please. So I would appreciate any sort of advice on that. So yeah, going back to the pipe that I was talking about. Ideally, you want to be looking for PVC waste pipe if you're going to use it. Um, a lot of people prefer pressure pipe, and a lot of YouTubers have said pressure pipe is far more expensive, and it's overkill and that sort of thing, and you don't need the pressure, blah blah blah. The thing is, now someone's also said waste pipe can last up to 100 years. Um, I'm sorry, I have read the information on the web that says that's the case. However, when you expose waste pipe to UV light, it becomes brittle over a couple of years. I had some waste pipe lying around that I left in the garden, and after a couple of years, I dropped something in it and it shattered into pieces. So when pipe is exposed to UV light, it gets weakened significantly. So the argument between waste pipe and pressure pipe, why waste pipe is more than adequate for ponds. A lot of pond builders have said that. The thing is, pressure pipe has a thicker wall, a lot thicker wall. It's about 5 millimeter thicker. The thicker your pipe, the more resistant to UV light it is. So Darren Webber says, "Sorry to hear that, mate. That must be hard, mate. And you have to try and coach them to let them know that you're there all the way with them, mate." Yeah, thanks a lot, mate. It's difficult when it's family, isn't it? Um, so yeah, in summary, if you can afford pressure pipe, you know what? There isn't a huge, massive difference in price between pressure pipe and waste pipe. It might be £5 or £8 difference per meter, obviously, but I think it's worth the investment. So if you can afford pressure pipe, I'd recommend it because I've had to pull out waste pipe in my last pond and re-glue it together because it didn't glue properly. Because you may have seen one of my past videos where I had, I think it was pipe disaster or something like that. And in the end, I had to replace the waste pipe with some more waste pipe. Pressure pipe is more durable and can resist UV light a lot better. So I would highly recommend anyone who's thinking about putting pipe in, just use pressure pipe. It's not vastly more expensive, and it's a lot stronger. It's stronger, more resistant to UV light, and will outlast waste pipe by many years. Um, and I think from a perspective of pipe's longevity, right? I think it's worth it. For an extra fiver, it's certainly worth getting pressure pipe because it will resist UV light a lot longer, a lot better, and I highly recommend it, ladies and gentlemen. Um, can waste pipe do the same job? Yes. Will it last a long time? Yeah, pretty much. But I do feel that after maybe 5 years, it becomes a bit brittle. Where waste pipe will probably be okay for at least 10 years, I would think. But if you want your pipe to last, um, just cover it in some insulation. I'll just show you. Hang on. There. That's waste pipe that they installed for the boiler, and I just basically put a load of insulation on it. That will stop the UV getting onto it and making it brittle. So if you can cover your pipe with something, do so. So that's what I recommend. So I was trying to think of other things I could mention, but nothing's coming to mind. Um, like I said, all my fish got killed by the herring, um, which was a bit of a bummer. I thought they were doing okay until some prat on Facebook said you can use um, dishwasher salt to bath your fish in. which was stupid. But I didn't read the back of the box. I thought they knew what we're talking about because it was on Wakefield Koi's Facebook um, group, and I thought the people on there might know what they're talking about. Obviously, they didn't, because when I looked on the back of the box, it said it was toxic, and apparently it has anti-caking chemicals in it. So if you ever see uh, washing up, dishwasher salt in a supermarket, and you think maybe I could possibly use that, you can't. So don't. So hopefully that will help you guys not make the same mistake. It's funny enough though, I did contact the dude that actually made that comment, and he never replied to me. Eh? Guess why, eh? I know why, because he probably realised I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. So there you go. Um, Quick question for you guys. Have you ever thought about fish caves? Would you use a fish cave? Do you think they're a waste of time? Are they beneficial? What do you think about fish caves? I'll tell you what I think about them. I think they can save your fish life. They can give a place for your fish to hide out if a herring is nearby. I've got a small pond over there. I don't know if I've shown you guys it. Um, Very regular. I show it from time to time, but not everyone on the stream will have seen it. But we have a small wildlife type pond here. Now, there's a fish cave there. Now I have a shabunkin and sort of a whitish goldfish in there that are very skittish at the moment, and I suspect that's because the herring has been coming here trying to eat them, but they've got that fish cave to go to. Now unfortunately, when I had this out and I had my fish in there, there was nowhere for them to hide. In hindsight, if I'd got one of those flags, put it on top of these stones, they would have had a place to hide. And unfortunately, I didn't think about doing that. So in hindsight, hindsight is a very good thing to think about, but it's always after the fact, isn't it? So if you're wondering what that is, that's a bowl filter that I made. Basically, it's a lots of gravel. We've got lava rock in there and plants on the top. Basically, I wanted a bowl that I could put on there as an additional filter, but I didn't want to buy an aquascape bowl. Aquascape bowls are a bloody rip-off, in my opinion, because they're like £600. And normally when you buy one of these bowls, you normally get the basin with it as well. So it's about a £1,200 cost just for the two bowls. And then if you want to do some sort of water feature in your garden, you're talking close to £3,000 because you have to buy the water container where you put those two on the top. So it can be an expensive do. And considering those aquascape filtration systems, what would you prefer? A large pond or just a small water feature that costs a fortune? I know what I would prefer. So here's my fish cave. I don't think if you've not seen this before, it's just basically a planter, plastic planter that looks like a barrel. Put a hole in there for fish to go in, sanded it down so it's nice and smooth so they won't hurt themselves. Put holes in the top so let air escape, and it's a large area, for the fish to hide in, as you can see. So fish caves are invaluable. So there you go. And as you can see, the garden's coming along in the summer, or what summer we've been getting. I've just been getting really peeved off with the fact it keeps raining. So I thought I'd leave it there, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick update, show you what I've been doing, It's nice to know that some of you guys are supporting my YouTube channel in terms of watching it and subscribing. Do appreciate it. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, and I'll see you in another one. Have a nice day.